Opening theaters this week is the action movie Monkey Man, and here's my review. In making his feature directing debut, Dev Patel seemed intent on making a high-energy action picture with plenty of hand-to-hand combat scenes. Setting the story in India, he directs a rather brutal movie, whose most attention-grabbing sequences involve the fights his character gets into. However, there's also a commentary underneath all the kicks and punches, and the film takes aim at India's caste system. Patel clearly had a lot to say about the subject, and while there are a few points where Monkey Man meanders a bit, it still winds up an inspired movie from a director with a lot of potential. Patel wastes little time in taking us to the streets occupied by his main protagonist, simply named Kid. There's a curiosity about his life and an interest as he plots his way through the societal structure of India. The camera's way moving through the street corners and buildings that brings a lot of energy to the film. When Monkey Man launches into one of its many fight scenes, Patel does not shy away from how violent these are, whether being done in a wrestling ring or when Kid takes on one of his enemies. Even with some of the shaky cam on display, Patel clearly wants to showcase every move made by the characters, and the stunt team deserves to be commended for their work here too. When it goes into the more dramatic elements of the story, those also work, especially in creating a sympathy for Kid. His motivation is clear and understandable, and we definitely get a sense of what drives him through his journey. With all the kinetic action, some of the more character-based scenes can feel a little slow by comparison. This is especially felt in the middle portion, which could have been tightened just a tad. Although even in those parts, Patel does experiment and present some inventive visuals. He certainly goes all out and does not hold back his directorial flourishes, which is often an admirable thing in an artist, and it makes one curious how he continues to play with this in future films. At a certain point, one realizes what is really on his mind beyond the action. The film takes aim at the system still in place in India, with some pointed political commentary towards some party leaders and the effect their views might have on the populace and those most affected by their comments. This is where you really feel Patel's personal touch and what likely motivated him to address these issues in this film. Monkey Man will be most remembered for his action scenes, and those are certainly well done. Dev Patel seems to have a particular vision for how to execute them and works well with the production team in order to give them the needed punch and ferocity. The way he uses the Indian setting to tell his story also works, and he succeeds at bringing in the audience and creating an understanding of each place his character visits. That he uses this concept to explore some interesting social themes is also worth noting, and it makes one curious what kinds of stories Patel will choose to tell in future directing projects.